about this. One of the things I think that might be holding us back from true progress is I think what I consider to be a fundamentally flawed assumption that all injuries are due to overuse, right? You throw too much, you get hurt. We see the same thing in runners, like they come in with shin splints, the doc says don't run, okay?
Sure.
It's not that you're running too much, you're running wrong, okay? Run differently, right? And so it's the paradox, the truth and paradox for me is this. People that want you to have a repeatable movement pattern, they want you to be able to repeat your mechanics, also tend to suggest that we need to control the workload. We need to not overuse but if you think about it, the definition of overuse is doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? And so if we get such rigid mechanics that we do the exact same thing over and over again, that's going to add stress over time to the exact same muscles in the exact same way. So in the video that I made, I talked about when we used to do push-ups in the military. When you start to burn out, you change your grip, you change your arms. So you go, okay, maybe use the muscles this way and then this way. And then if you've ever been on a long trip and put your foot on the gas pedal in the exact same place all the time, it starts to burn after a while. You have to, I got to move my foot around,
Yeah.
And you think about people that get overuse injuries in factories, they're just repetitive motion injuries. Well, we're doing the same exact movement over and over again. You're using the muscles in the exact same way over and over again. And Rob Gray was brilliant about this when he talked about weighted ball training in our summit recently.
Yeah.
You want the system to be stable yet flexible, right? Stable, but when it gets perturbed, it needs to be able to right itself, right? So I think of the movement of pitching. If you've ever watched the Winter Olympics and you've seen the luge, remember the luge guy who's on the little sled by himself? He's going down the sled, right? And if he goes with a small bandwidth of deviations, he wins the race, right? But if he's like all over the place like this, now he loses. We got to take this movement that guys are doing and turn it into this, but it can't be rigid. It can't just be one movement, because the first time he gets an ice rut or a gust of wind, he's off the course.
Right.
The first time you step in a hole where the opponent's foot is in a different place, which is every time, or the first time the ball's wet or the umpire's squeezing you, or you just get outside of your movement a little bit.
Different variabilities.
You've never rehearsed getting it back, right? And so that's the flexibility part, right? And Rob pointed out that weighted ball training isn't really about the stability of the system. It's about the flexibility of the system. When you practice with weighted balls and when you throw long toss, the value of it to me is every throw's a little bit different, right? Within a bandwidth, right? And every throw's a little bit different. And so you rehearse the correction implicitly. You rehearse the writing of the luge implicitly. And I think that if we don't vary the movement pattern, if we don't practice the correction, I think we may be putting our athletes at risk. And so, the knock against long toss is it adds stress and every throw's different. That's the exact value of long toss.
I know, and that's the thing, right? Because the body needs stress, you need to adapt.
Yeah.
And that's
even the ligament, right? And the ligament has a blood supply.